Hi everyone, I'm teacher Ashley. Today we will start on Catholic P4 Catholic SA2 paper. I'll go through every steps of each question with all the working that is needed to solve. Okay, so let's just begin with the first question here. Okay, it's 9, 10,000, 20 tens and 3 ones. So we can actually, for 10,000, it's actually 9, 0, 0, 0, 0. Okay, and if it's tens, it's just 0 with a 20. Okay, and then 3 ones, there's nothing, we just put 3 there. Okay, so after that, we can actually plus them together. We align them accordingly, and then we can add them together. Okay, give me a moment. Okay, so the answer is number 3. Okay, then let's move on. The keyword here is factor of 75. So when we have factor, we have to list down the factor of 75. Okay, so let's leave down 1 times 75. And then we ask ourselves, can 75 divide by 2? If you're not sure, you can do the working. Minus 6, 1, 5, 7, minus 41. You have a remainder 1 means 75 cannot be divided by 2. So let's move on to 3. So total 3, 6. Carry down 5. Yes. So it's 5 here. So it's actually 2 times 23, times 25. And then 4 we can't. So we double check first. Minus 4 is 35. And 8 times 4, 32. So we can't because there's a remainder. So let's go to 5. 75 divided by 5. 5 times 5, 25. 0. So we can have 5 times 15. Okay, so we shall move on. Not enough space. So let's clear out this first. So you ask yourself 6 down the table. Whether it can be divided. Okay, give me a moment. Okay, let's move on. 6, 1 minus 6, 15. 2 times 6 equal to 3. So we can't. 7 also. 1. We can't because there's a remainder. and 8. 0 minus 0. 9 times 8, 72. 3 also remainder. Last one is 9 and 8 again. Also a remainder. So which of the following number is not a factor? So we circle the factor first. These are all the factors. So we have 5, we have 3, we have 1. So 2 is not. So answer is number 2. How many quarters are there? Okay, when they're asking for quarters, first thing you have to see quarters. Quarter refers to 4. You look at your denominator, is there 4? So just nice, 5 and 3/4 there is. So we change our mixed number to improper. So in order to change its denominator times whole number plus numerator. So it's actually 5 times 4 equals to 20. 20 plus 3 equals to 23. Answer number 1. Okay. Okay, let's move on to question 3. M is the midpoint of 3.25 and 3.3. So it's asking what is the value of point M. So middle, M means the midpoint means middle. So normally we take the two numbers, 3.3 plus 3.25. We add a 0, so that's easier. Okay, sorry. Let me erase it first. Okay, let's continue. So it's 5. 3 plus 2 is 5. 3 plus 3 is 6. Okay, so we have to divide these two numbers. This number also 6. 3 times 2 equals to 6. Carry down 5. 2 minus 0.4. 1. Carry down 5. 7 times 7 times 2, 14. 1, then we add another 0. So 5 times 2, 10. So your answer is 3.275, which is number 3. Okay, next question 5. Express 0.8 as a fraction. Okay, 0.8 is 1 decimal place. So 1 decimal place is changed to fraction is actually over 10. So to recall, 1 decimal place is actually 10. If you have 2 decimal place, it's over 100. And 3 decimal place is over 1,000. Okay, so 0.8 is 1 decimal place, so it's 8 over 10. So we have the answer, which is number 2. Okay, so let's move on. Question 6. Which of the following angle is BCD? So when they ask for which angle, we always look at the middle one, which is angle C. So you look at B, C, D. So it's angle C. So when you look at angle C, it's actually Y. So Y is number 3. Okay, next is question 7. Asking for which angle is closest to 125. So 125 is an obtuse angle and it's very close to 180. So if you can see, obtuse angle is this one, and this one is a right angle because it's 90 degree, and this is an obtuse angle and it's acute. Okay, so I have two options, number 1 and number 3. So if you can look carefully, it's quite near to 90 is here. Okay, let's try this one. Oops, wait a minute. So if you can see, 90 degree is actually this part. If I put a straight line, it's actually here. So it's quite near to my 90 degree, whereas this one is very near to 180 degree. If I add on the straight line, give me a line. It's quite near to 180. So my option will be number 1. Okay, so let's move on to the next question. Okay, next, one of the numbers below can be divided by 4 without a remainder. Okay, so we have to list down, since it can be divided by 4, it must be multiples of 4. So let's list down the multiples of 4 first, which is 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 32, 36, 40. So they mentioned that when 4 is added, the number can be divided by 5 without a remainder. So let's add a 4 in here. So now we have a change in the number. It's 20, 24, 28, 36, 40, 44. So they're asking you which of it is the following number. So after I add 5, I realized that add 4, the number can be divided by 5 will be 40 and 20. We only have two numbers. Okay, so 40 will be 36 and 20 will be 16. So if you can see, 12 is out, 24 is out, 30 is out, and 36, since I have 36 here. Okay. Okay, next question, number 9. The capacity of A is 3.5 liter. Its capacity is 1/3 less than B. So they mention A is 3/5 liter and its capacity is less. It means A is less than B. So means B is more. More means plus. So we will take 3/5 plus 1/3. But before we can add, we need to change the denominator to be the same. So times table 5 and 3, the common is 15. So we times 3 here. In the numerator times 3. The other 1/3 will times 5. So after you change the new fraction will be 915 plus 515, and it will give you 14 over 15, which is number 3. Okay, let's move on to question 10. Okay, question 10. Kelly baked 35 muffins. 7 of them were chocolate muffins. So which model show? So always look at the denominator. Denominator stands for total. Total must have 7 boxes. Okay. Let me do something first. I will show the view. Okay. So if you can see here, all my boxes, I have to see whether they have 7. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This one, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Also no. So we only left with 2 options, 1 and 2. So 5, 7 with chocolate means 5 units with chocolate. But if you can see, the indicator is only 2 boxes. And this one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 boxes. So answer is number 2. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Okay, next is figure ABC is 4 identical rectangles, means all of them are the same. And it showed you that 27 is the length of the rectangle. So if you can see here, it's actually the same as here. It goes to 3 breadths of the rectangle. So meaning that I can indicate 3 breadths. Oh, sorry. Let me rewrite it again. Okay, so I can make 3 breadths. The 3b is actually 27. 1b is actually 27 divided by 3 equals to 9. And AB is actually 1 breadth, which is 9, and 1 length, which is 27. So we can take 27 plus 9 equals to 36, which is number 1. Okay, so let's move on. Time now. Question 12, there's a table showing you 4 different musical and the start time together with the end time. So they mentioned that Ahmad arrives at the concert hall at 3:05 p.m. but he needs to leave by 5 p.m. So which musical can he watch from the start to the end? Since he arrives at 3:05, so we can see that song or musical will not be possible because it starts at 2:30. The Tiger King is possible, start at 4:10. And Rodal start at 3:15 is possible as well. Geronimo starts at 3:30, which is not possible as he arrived at 3:05. So I have 2 options, 2 musical. So let's see the ending time. He needs to leave by 5. So we look at the Tiger King, ends at 5:15. He will be too late for him. And Rodal will be just nice at 4:45. So we can choose Rodal for his musical, which is number 3. Okay, let's move on. Next question, time as well. Henry played tennis for 2 hours 25 minutes. He finished playing at 16:20 in 24-hour clock. So what time he started playing? We need a timeline. So let's draw a timeline here. Okay, so we start at, he don't know what time he start, but we know the ending time is 16:20. Since it's 2 hours 25 minutes, let's move on by minute first. We have 20 here, so let's move on by 20 minutes, which is now 16. So I have 25 minutes minus 20 minutes. I'm left with 5 minutes. So let's move backwards another 5 minutes. And the time will be 15:55. And I have 2 hours now. So let's move 1 hour, which is 14:55. And 1 more hour, which is 13:55. So the answer is option 2. Okay, let's move on to question 14 is symmetry. Symmetry is actually mirror image. Okay, so they have 4 lines, line A, line B, line C, and line D. Okay, so when we fold the line, we must make sure that the other side of the picture meets one another and form a mirror image. Okay, so if you can see my A, which is this line, when I fold it this way, line A, there's an additional curve shape which the opposite does not have. So my line A is out. Next one is line B. If you fold line B, it's also not possible because of the curved line here. So let's move on to line C. Line C is here, so if I move half, same, the curved line, the other side doesn't have, then that's the last option, which is D. Let's double check if D is possible. Yes, if you realize, if I fold this side and this side is the same. Yes, so D will be the answer for my symmetry. Next option, number 4, line D. Okay, next. Question 15 is decimal. Okay, so let's recap decimal. Tenth with a TH is 1 decimal place, which is 0.1. Hundredth is 2 decimal place, which is 0.01. And thousand is actually 3 decimal place, which is 0.01. Sorry, 0.001. So let's put here, if it's tenth, means it's 1 decimal place. I have 25, so means it's 2.5. 400 is 2 decimal place, so it's 0.04. So when we put them together, we can actually add them. Put a 0 on top, and you will have 2.54, which is number 1. Let's move on to question 16. Fraction now. Sam spent 1/3 of his money on a soccer ball. So when you have fraction, we need to draw an order. 1/3 denominator is 3, so means denominator stands for total. Total 3 unit. He spent 1/3 on soccer ball. So soccer ball. And the soccer ball is 54. So we write it by saying 54. And we know all these boxes are unit, so we can put 1 unit, 1 unit, and 1 unit. So from here, 1 unit is actually 54. Total money is 3 unit, is 54 times 3 is equals to 162, which is answer number 4. Okay, let's move. Question 17. At a carnival, every six participants receive a cup of drink and 8th participant receive a keychain. So it's asking which is the first one who receive both the drink and the keychain. So this type of question is always multiple because of the word every 6 and every 8th. Okay, so let's list down the multiples of 6 and 8. Okay, so 6, 12, 18, 4, 30, 6, 42, 48, 54, and 60. And now is number 8, 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, 48, 56, 64, 72, 80. So we want the first participant. Let's find the common first. If you realize 24. And then we have 48. Okay, but they want first, so we only can pick the first common, which is 24, which is number 1. Okay, next one, money, decimal. So Leo spent $2.15 on a pen. He spent 90 cents more on an exercise book. So he's asking how much in total for both pen and exercise book. So if you realize, my pen is $1, but my exercise book more is actually cents. So let's change the 90 cents to $. It will be 0.90. And since my exercise book costs more than the pen, so pen is like this, $2.15, and my exercise book is more, which is 90 cents more. So this is exercise book, this is pen. So I can find total, which is longer, so we need to plus. So exercise book is actually $2.50 plus 90 cents. So let's do working here. Carry up, but the decimal is $3.05. But this is only for the exercise book. They want total. So total will be $3.05 plus my pen is $2.15. Let's do the working. $5.20, which is option 3. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Okay, next question is on decimal again. It's rounding off. So they want to round off to the nearest whole number. Okay, let me highlight whole number. Okay, or one decimal place will give you the same value. So we must round off into two. One is whole number and the other one is one decimal place. So there are four numbers here. So let's try 19.48. Let's do working here. Okay, 19.48. Skip speed. If I round off to the nearest one decimal place, I will look at 4 and my neighbor 8. So it's more than 5, so I will plus 1. It will give me 19.5. Okay, so if it's whole number, let's go back. Whole number, I'll look at 9 and my neighbor 4. So it's not more than 5, it's between 0 to 4, so it will remain as 19. Next, 19.58. One decimal, I look at 5 and my neighbor is 5 and more, so we plus 1, it will be 19.6. Whole number, look at 9 and the neighbor 5 is more than 5, so I plus 1, and 9 plus 1 is 20, so my tens place also need the plus 1. It will end up with 20. Next one is 19.94. One decimal place. One decimal place is here. I see the neighbor is 4 is less than 5, so remain unchanged. 19.9. And whole number, and I see the neighbor plus 1. Again plus 1 because it's 10, so you have 20. And the last option, let's move to here. One decimal place. See neighbor 5, so you plus 1. And then it's 10. 10 you plus 1. Still 10, and then you plus to the whole number, become 20.0. And whole number is 9. Neighbor 9 plus 1, 10, and plus 1, 20. So they want same value, which is number 4, because both is 20, 20. Okay, so next, let's move on to the next question, 20. Next one is question 20. Each figure is drawn to square grid. Which of the following has two lines of symmetry? Okay, so here, let's draw the line of symmetry for A. Let's see if we cut to this. Yeah, we have one line of symmetry. We cut into half. We don't. So let's try B. We can cut into half. And we can cut into half. Oh, we have two lines of symmetry. Okay, next one for C. We can cut this way. We can cut this way. We can cut this way too. You can see they can be folded into four sides because all of the four sides are the same. Okay, next one is a slanted figure. So we can try this way first. We can't make it straight here. And so we only have B and C for our answer, which have at least two lines of symmetry. BC number 2. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Okay, we are now at section B, which is short question. So will require you to do some simple calculation and maybe quite difficult at times. So let's move on to 21, which is more simple one. Is asking for 60,205. So 60,000, we put 30 and we put the 60 on top. Okay, so 100 is 20 and we put the 2 on top. And 5 is just 5, so we put 5 here. So we just add them. You can do your working if you are not confident. And we just put them. Your answer will be 60205. Okay. Okay, let's move on to the next question. It's asking for biggest 4-digit odd number. Okay, so let's put on when they want you to form numbers, so you have 4 blanks. I'm sorry, let's erase this number. My cursor up. Okay, they want odd number. Odd number always start from the back. So odd number is actually 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. Even is 2, 4, 6, 8, 0. So they want odd number. Odd number is, put the O on here. 9 is also odd number. Sorry, make a mistake. 0 is an even. Okay, so I only have one odd number, which is 9, so I put a 9 here. And they want the biggest even, so since 9 is done, let's try off. Biggest digit is 4, so I put 4 here. And the second biggest is 2, and the last one is 0. So our answer is 4209. Okay. Okay, now let's move on to question 23. It says that the number when rounded off to nearest hundred becomes 6,700. We want the smallest whole number. Okay, so that's here. So it's also 4. And they round off to the nearest 100, which is here. So my 6 don't change. And since here is 7, my smallest number that can be will be 6. Okay, so let's check. If I want my 6 to become 7, my tens must be 5, 6, 7, 8. 5, 6, 7, 8 or 9. Okay, so the one smallest possible must be 5. Okay, and my ones must be 0, as it must be the smallest. So answer will be 6650. Okay, next one. Let's move on to fraction. Okay, fraction. Mrs. Lim had 2/3 of a pizza. Mrs. Ng had 1/4 of a similar pizza. How much more did Miss Lim have than Mrs. Ng? Miss Lim has 2/3, so Miss Lim has more. Give me a minute. And since Mrs. Lim has more, and they want to know how much more, so it's actually minus Mrs. Ng. So like the previous question, when fraction we need to plus or minus, we need to change the denominator. So 3 and 12, common multiple, 3 and 4, common multiple is 12, so I times 4, I times 4. Here times 3, I times 3. So let's have the change one is 8 over 12 minus 3 over 12. Answer will be 5 over 12. Okay, next, number pattern. Let's zoom in a bit. Okay, number pattern, they are asking what is the blank question mark here. So, number pattern, always find how does 200408 become 2608. So we can take to minus to double check. So it's plus 200. So here is plus 200. So all constant means all the same. So we can take 3008 plus 200. We will get 3208. Okay. Okay, now let's move to question 26. It's on angle. So Sharon, this little girl, is facing the swimming pool. So where will she be if she turns 225 anti-clockwise direction? So anti-clockwise, clockwise is moving as the same as the clock. Clockwise is here, anti-clockwise is here. So since the question mentioned is anti-clockwise, so it will be this direction instead. So it's asking for 225. So each time you turn, it's actually 45 degree. So 45 degree, and then I turn 90 degree, and I turn 135 degree, and then I turn 180 degree, and the next one is 225 degree. So he'll be facing the hair salon. Okay, so the answer is hair So long. Okay. Okay, next question. Grace and Emily have 360 stickers altogether. Emily has twice as many stickers as Grace. So how many stickers must Emily give to Grace so that they have the same sticker? Okay, so before that, we know that Emily has twice of Grace. So we can draw Emily. Twice means 2 unit. So Emily is 2 unit. Grace is 1 unit. And both of them have 360 stickers. So we can find 1 unit first. So this is actually 1 unit. So we can say 3 unit is actually 360. 1 unit is actually 360 divided by 3, which is, can do the working here. Minus 3, 0, carry 6, 2, 6, 0, carry 0, still 0. It's actually 120. So means this part is actually 120. But Emily is sharing some stickers with Grace so that they are the same. So in order to be the same, she need to share half. So I will share it with Grace. So Grace will have this part from Emily. So my 120 is now divided by 2, which will give you 60. So means Emily will give 60 to Grace in order to be the same. Okay, let's move on to question 28. Okay, 28. Mrs. Ang has 2 pieces of cloth, length is 48 and 56. She cuts them into shorter pieces of equal length. Each piece is from both cloth is actually the same. So it's asking what is the greatest length can each shorter piece that can be cut off. Okay, so they want it to be same length. And you have 48 cm and 56 cm. We need to find the factors of 48 and 56. So let's move here 48 first. Okay, let me move. Okay, so here 48 and 56. So 1 times 48. So 48 can be divided by 2. So it's 2 times 24. And 48 can be divided by 3. We can double check here. 6 and minus 18. So it is 3 times 16. And we can have 4 as well. If you are not confident, you can check by doing the working. So it will be 4 times 12. 5, there's no 8 in timetable 5, so we can skip. And 6 is 6 times 8. 7, there's no 48. 8, same, which is 8 times 6. So we completed 48 first. Now let's go to 56, same. 1 times 56. So how about 2? We can do working. Carry down the 6. 8, 16, 0. So is 2 times 28. How about 3? So let's try 3. Oh, we have a remainder 2, so it's out. 4. I think we can. Okay, so it's 4 times 40. 5 can't because there's a 6, no 6 in timetable 5. 6, there's no 56 in timetable 6. We have 7 times 8. And 8 times 7 is the same, so no difference. We don't state twice. So they want the greatest line. So all the common factors we can circle. We have 4 and we have 8. Okay, so since they want the greatest, it will be 8. So answer is 8 cm. Oopsie, wait a minute. Let me write it properly. 8 cm. Okay. So let's move on to the next question. Okay, next one is, what is the value of 4 divided by 7 in one decimal place? So when they mention is one decimal place, there will be decimal place in the answer. So 4 divided by 7. 4 is divided by 7. So 4 cannot be divided, we put a 0 and then minus. And then we put a 0 again. Carry down is 40. Put the decimal. So the nearest number is 5 minus 35. 5 again. Carry down again. 15 nearest is 7. Always leave your answer in 3 decimal place so that when you want to round off, it's much easier. Minus 1, minus 7, you end up with 3. Okay, we have 3 decimal place, so the answer is 0.571. They want to have 1 decimal place. Look at your friend, it's more than 5, so plus 1, you end up with 0.6. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Okay, Alan paid $68 for a racket and 2 similar water bottles. The racket costs as much as 2 water bottles. So how much is 1 water bottle? When they say the racket costs as much as, means the racket is the same as 2 water bottles. So meaning we can put 1 racket is actually equals to 2 water bottles. And we have already 2 water bottles. So means total we have 4 water bottles. And 4 water bottles is equals to 68. We can find 1 water bottle. Okay, which is 68 divided by 4. So 1 water bottle is 17. That is the answer. In case you don't know why, because I can draw a model for you. As mentioned, 1 racket is the same as 2 water bottles. So this is 1 racket, this is 1 water bottle. So if 1 racket is the same as 2 water bottles, I can cut it. It has 2 units. So that's why I put 1 racket equals to 2 water bottles. Okay, next let's move on. 31. When the number is divided by 3, it has a quotient of 1,351 with a remainder of 2. So what is the number? So many words, so we write it in the equation, which is a number divided by 3 equals to a quotient 1,351 with a remainder 2. So let's move backwards. Divide backwards is times, so it's 1,351 times 3. Let's do again. 1 times 3, 3. 3 times 5, 15, carry 1. 3 times 3, 9, plus 1 is 10. 3 times 1, 3, plus 1 is 4. So it's 4053. And we take 4053 as the remainder. Answer 405. Okay. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Jug A contains 6.2 liter of apple juice. Jug B contains 3.8 liter of carrot juice. So Yan decided to mix them together to make fruit punch. And he poured away 1.47 liter. So how much was left? So they mentioned that they mixed the juice. So since they mixed the juice, meaning I can take 6.2 plus 3.8. Which means plus them together. So I do working. So it's actually 10.00 liter. And then after that, he poured away. So pour away means minus. Minus means take away. Let's do working. Oh, if you realize I'm missing, I have a blank here. Please add your own zero. The minus sign. So it's 3, 5, 8. Okay, so it's 8.53 liter. That is the answer. Okay. Okay, next question, decimal by arranging in increasing order. We realize that the question is in decimal and fraction, and my fraction is in mixed number and improper fraction. So we will change it to fraction, mixed number, so that you can easily see it. Okay, so 6.25. If I change to fraction, it's actually 3 whole, 25 over 100. Simplest form will be 3 whole, and divided by 5, divided by 5 will be 5 over 20. And I can give it more simplest form, 1 over 4. Okay, so 3 and 5, 6 remain. Let's change my improper. Divide by 8 is 3 whole minus 24. So it's actually 3 whole 1 over 8. Okay, so let's compare. My 1/4 and 1/8. 1/4 is big. So why? Because if I multiply by the same denominator, it's actually 3 whole 2 8. So we know that this one is the last one. So we put the number 3. But we are not confident if 3 and 1/4 is it bigger or smaller. So we can compare by changing the denominator. 6 and 4 denominator is 12. So I times 3 times 3. 3 whole 3 over 12. And this is 3 whole 10 over 12. So my 3 and 5, 6 is bigger. So this is number 2. And this is number 3. I'm sorry, it's number 1. Because it's the biggest. Okay. So increasing order means smallest to biggest. Smallest, we have to put back the original. We change it is to make sure our calculation is accurate. So the next one is 3.25 and the next one is 3 and 5 over 6. Okay. Okay, let's move to the next question. Is symmetry. To draw the symmetry of the other side of the image. Okay, if you look here, carefully. They already drawn the other part for you. So we can actually follow the grid accordingly. So you see AB is the imaginary line. So we move one grid downwards. So you follow exactly the same as how it is. Okay, and the other side, we move inwards. And then now they move 3 grids slanted, 1, 2, 3 upwards. So I'll move 1, 2, 3, which is this side as well. Okay, and then they move in 2 square grid inwards. So it's 1, 2. So same, we will move inwards 2. And the last one, you move upwards 1, which is move this way. So you also move outwards 1. One box. Okay, let's move on. Next one, 35. Jean is at one of the point, but we don't know which point she is. But she moved 1 step to the south, 2 steps to the east, and 3 steps to the north. She ended up at H. So we know she's here. Okay, so we are supposed to find at first, so we move backwards. She said that she moved 3 steps to the north. So if she move backwards, it will be 3 steps to the south. South, in case you all don't know, let's put all this here. South is bottom. So we move 1, 2, 3 south. 1 step to the south. So now we have to move, no, 2 steps to the east, sorry. So 2 steps to the east, opposite direction is west. West is here. So we move 2 steps, 1, 2. And then after that, she moved 1 step to the south. So 1 step to the north. In opposite direction, she's here. So she has J at first. Okay. Next, rectangles and squares. So in the diagram here, you can see there are 2 different rectangles, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. They gave you the measurement for AB, DE, and HG. So they put a question mark at CF. So we can see that AB is 24, DE is 16. So we can find this part easy. So we can take 20, sorry. So you can put 24 minus 16, which give you 8. So means this part is 8. And we know that 14 is here, which is also equals to here. So means we can find my CF now, which is 40 minus 8, 6 here. Okay, let's move on. Angles. Angles of a rectangle. We know that angles of the rectangle is actually 90 degrees. Okay, so when we have rectangle folded, so meaning we can find something on the rectangle. Okay, so I think they have a missing number. This part, because it's shaded, so I think it's not clear. Okay, let me put it in. This part shaded is actually give me a moment. Okay, hold on a while. Okay, they actually miss out this part because it's shaded. Okay, so this part is actually 52 degrees. So we know that the tangle is 90 degrees. So 90 minus 50. Give me a moment. 90 minus 52 is actually 38 degrees. So if you can see, this part here is actually folded from here. So means this angle is actually the same as this angle. So we'll take 38 degrees divided by 2. Working here, minus 2, we have 1, bring down 8. 9 times 2, 18. So it's 19 degrees. Okay, let's move on. Each question, they mentioned that 8 years ago, Alan was 4 times as well as Geta. Their total age is 46 now. So since I know that the age is 46 now, I can find 8 years ago. So 8 years ago is 46 minus 8 for Alan and minus 8 for Geta. So we'll end up with 30 years old. So they mentioned that Alan is 4 times. So 4 times means is Alan is 4 unit and then Geta is 1. Total age is actually 30. So 5 units is actually 30. 1 unit is 30 divided by 5 equals to 6. So they want G for 8 years ago, which is 1 unit. She's 6 years old. Okay, now we have graph here. Okay, here shows the number of pupils in the enrichment class from 2014 to 2015. So before we answer the question, we have to find the value of each point. So this is 500. Let's double check if 1 line stands for 100. So 600, 700, 800, 900, 100, 1000. So just nice. So this one, 2014 is 800. 2015 is 1200. 2016 is 1009. 2017 is 2004. 2018 is 2008. Okay, so let's answer. Which year was the number of pupils 3 times of 2014? So they're asking for which year is 3 times of. Means my 2014 is 1 unit and I don't know which year is 3 unit. So we know that 1 unit is 800. So we can find 3 unit, which is 800 times 3, which give you 2400. So 2017 is 2400. Next, what was the increase in number of new pupils who joined the center between 2015 and 2016? So we look here. 2015 is 1002. 2016 is 1009. So increase is, we take this 2 to minus, we can find the increase, which is 700. Okay, so the answer for this is 700. Okay, so let's move on to the next question. Okay, next question. Ali, Raja and Peter have 2008. Peter has 27 more marbles than Ali. So we can start to draw. Peter has 27 more than Ali. And then Raja has twice of what Peter has. So if you realize Peter here is 1 unit and with 27. So Raja is 3 times. So means whatever Peter has, Raja has 3 times exactly the same. So I draw a big one first. So here is 1 unit. I got 1 set the same. 2 set the same. 3 set the same. Okay, so total is 208. So we find Ali. So we have all the numbers here. So it has 27 times 4. Okay, do the working here. Carry up to is 108. So we can take away the extra to find the unit. So 208 minus 108 is equals to 100. So once we finish, we can just write first. So 100 is actually for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units. So 5 units is equals to 100. 1 unit is equals to 100 divided by 5. So let's divide. 0 minus 0, 1, 0, 2, 10, 0. So 1 unit is actually 20. So Ali is 1 unit. So Ali is 20. So we can put down the answer as 20. Okay, then we can move on to the next question. Okay, let's move on to question 42. Rina had a basket of 75 mangoes, so she used 22 mangoes for cakes and sold some mangoes, and eventually she left with 3/5 of the number of mangoes she had at first. So we can actually draw a model. We can draw 5 units. Okay, and then here mentioned that you're left with 3/5, so means you're left with 3 units. So this is left. Okay, so since left is 3 units, means use is 2 units. So I just put use here. And then use is 22 mangoes and sold some. So together I put use and sold. And all together is 75. So we can say that 5 units is 75. 1 unit is 75 divided by 5. We left with 15. So how much is sell? So since use and sold is 2 units, so we can find 2 units is 15 times 2 equals to 30. And since use is 22, so we can take 30 minus 22, and 8 is used. Okay, so let's move on. Okay, this is question 43. A container with 5 similar books weigh 5.5 kg, and then the mass of a container with 3 books is 3.9 kg. It's asking for the container when it's empty. So the first one, we can draw a model. Please look, here is the model include a container and 5 books. So we must have a long one, which one is the container, and 5 books is 5 unit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is books B. So this is 5.5 kg. And then the other one is a container again, but now it's with 3 books. So I can indicate the container with 3 books is 3.9 kg. As you can see, I have 2 books here. So actually I can take 5.5 minus 3.9. And this is actually for 2 books to be. Okay, so 6 here and it's 1 here. So 1.6 kg is for 2 books. So 1 book is actually 1.6 divided by 2, 0.8 kg. So it's asking for container. So I will take this sentence to find my container. Container with 3 books. So 3 books, which is 3b, is equals to 0.8 times 3, which is equals to 2.4. And then I can find my container, which is C, is 3.9 minus 2.4. Okay, which will give you 1.5 kg. Okay, so let's move on to the next question. Okay, is area and perimeter. There's a rectangular piece of paper which is folded to form this shape here. So he's asking for the area of the rectangular piece of paper before it was folded, which is this one. Okay, we have the measurements here. Normally, we will draw back the line before it was folded. Oops, give me a minute. Okay, let's draw back the line. Okay, so if this is 3 cm, meaning here is 3 cm. And here will be 6 cm. Okay. And then here will be 7. Seven cm. And here will be 6 cm also. This is 3 cm. And here will be 6 cm. Okay, so my length will be 7 plus 6 plus 3 equals to 16. And my breadth is 6 cm. B is 6 cm. So area will be 16 times 6 equals to 96 cm squared. Okay, so let's move on to the next question, which is on pattern. Okay, so here we can look at the pattern. My number of rectangle is each time I move is plus 1, and my number of circle each time when I move is plus 4. Okay, so let's see. So it's constant. I want to find figure 10. So figure 10 will be for rectangle. So since it's constant each time plus 1, so figure 10 rectangle will be 10 is for A. Okay, and B, how many rectangles are there in a pattern with 98 circles? So we know that my circles, every time when I move is plus 4. So I will take my total circle minus my initial circle, which is 6. I will have 92. And each time I move is 4, so I'm going to find the groups. It will be 92 divided by 4. So it will give me 2 and 3. Okay, so I have 93 groups, which is my figure number. And please remember, I minus my first figure of 6. So my figure number, I need to plus back. So will be 93 plus 1 equals to 94. Okay, that's it. Thank you for spending time to look through the paper with me, and I hope that I did help you in solving most of the questions. Thank you.